everybody? I'm here today to talk to you about some driving test tips for turning left and right. These are tips that will help you with the driving test for turning left and right. Let's get right into the video. Before I start, I'm going to take a sip of coffee because I'm really thirsty and I need a little boost for this video. All right, I love my morning coffee, and I have 2 coffees every day. You know, I have one in the morning, both homemade most of the time. I have one in the morning, and then one when I get home from work. And I really look forward to them. Anyways, back to business. Number 1, check your mirrors and blind spot every single time. A lot of people don't figure out that this is unbelievably important. They think it's like a bonus. Oh, your blind spot is like something you should check when you want to. No! Every single time, check your mirrors and blind spot. Which mirrors do you check? You check your rearview mirror all the time. Right or left turn, you check your rearview mirror. Then you're gonna check your right side mirror or your left side mirror, depending on which way you're turning. Then you're gonna check your right blind spot or left blind spot, depending on which way you're turning. So if I'm turning right, rear view, right side mirror, right blind spot. If I'm turning left, rear view mirror, left side mirror, left blind spot. Every single time you do that, okay? You should come up with an acronym to just sort of make you remember what it is. So like, you know, you could be like RSB, like rear side blind, okay? You know, just come up with something that makes it easier for you. Okay, number 2, exaggerate the safety checks. This is probably the most useful tip that I can tell you, okay? Because most people do everything right, and there is still a slim chance that the driving test examiner won't see you checking your blind spot or something. So you gotta exaggerate them. Meaning, don't go like this. Okay, I just checked, you know, my side mirrors on my blind spot. Don't do that. Go like that. Exaggerate them by moving your head. And if you want, if the examiner will even let you, you can even wear a cap, like a baseball cap. Because then, there's no doubt that you checked your safety checks on your blind spots, okay? So make sure you exaggerate them. Number 3, give yourself a space cushion. If you're making a right or left turn, you want to make sure you have a space cushion on all ends of your car. The front, the sides, and the back. Make sure you have a little bit of space. Don't get too close to the right side of where you got to be driving. Don't get too close to the left side. By giving yourself a space cushion, you're going to make sure that, number 1, you don't clip any curbs. You don't hit any curbs. You don't drive into, come close to driving into the oncoming lane of traffic. You know, you're just going to make sure that you are allowing yourself to be less likely to make any errors, okay? Number 4, look where you want to go. When you're turning left and right, for the driving test, but even with regular driving, you'll see that I do it right now, okay? When you're turning left and right, you want to look at a 45-degree angle to wherever you got to turn. So I'm turning left, I'm looking 45 here, and then I straighten my head out as I make it onto the next street, okay? If I'm turning right, I'm going to look towards a 45-degree angle on my right, and then as you turn onto the street, you straighten your neck at that point, okay? So watch, as I turn right into this parking lot over here, I'm going to signal, I'm going to exaggerate my safety checks like that, and as I turn right, I'm looking at a 45 over here, and now I straighten my head out. Very simple and straightforward, okay? So that was number 4. Look where you want to go, okay? Number 5, turn the car smoothly. Now, how do you turn the car smoothly? Well, you basically know when to stop turning the steering wheel for that specific turn. You know, if I know that to make this right turn coming up, per se, I have to turn the wheel this much, it's easy for me to turn the car smoothly because I can turn and then I can make that turn super smoothly. Pretty straightforward, just practice, and that's how you do it. Number 6, turn into the proper lane. Now, if you're turning onto what we call a dual carriageway, which is a street with 2 lanes, you know, then you can either turn into the left lane or the right lane. Right now, as a rule of thumb, like I said, this is a rule of thumb. It doesn't apply everywhere all the time, but a rule of thumb, most places, most of the time. If I'm turning left, if I'm making a left turn, I'm going to turn into the left lane. Then I'm going to switch over to the right lane. That's assuming that you drive on the right side of the road, okay? And if I'm turning into the right, I'm going to just turn into the right lane. That's it. So if I'm making a left turn, I end up in the left lane, then I switch over to the right lane, usually as a rule of thumb. And if I'm making a right turn, I just turn into the right lane. Very simple and straightforward. Number 7 is turn the wheel, hold it, and release it. Now, this is the key factor for making smooth and safe turns. A lot of people don't know how to turn the wheel when they're just learning to drive. Even people that are going to do the driving test, they don't know how to turn the wheel sometimes, which boggles my mind. So what you got to do, turn the wheel, hold it, and release it. When you release it, as you're driving, it's going to turn itself back. Now, when I turn it and hold it, when I release it, do I go like this? No. What you're going to do is turn it, hold it, and release it like this. And the wheel should start turning back. You might guide it a little bit, but it should turn back by itself. So in order to do that, where do you hold it? Well, you hold it wherever you got to stop turning the steering wheel. So let's say I knew I had to stop turning it at about 50%. I would turn it, hold it, release it, and then it would turn itself back, okay? Really easy to do once you practice. The key with these is practicing, okay? That's really what it comes down to. Last but not least is number 8. Don't hug the curb with your car during your right and left turns. Especially if, like I said, so it all depends on which way you're driving, which side of the road you're driving on. If you're driving on the right side of the road, when you make a right turn, you're gonna be close to the curb. You wanna give yourself cushioning so you don't clip that curb. If you mount the curb or clip the curb, it could be game over for your driving test, okay? If you're making a left turn and you're driving on the left side of the road, that's when you might hug your curb in that situation. So it all depends, but you want to make sure that you try to avoid hugging the curb. Give yourself a space cushion, and part of this is also where you start, your starting position of the turn. If you start nice and centered, you'll be less likely to clip the curb than if you start close to the curb. If you start your turn close to the curb, you're probably going to mount it. So try and start centered and try and guide your car with a nice smooth turning radius and end centered. That's it. Those are some driving test tips for turning left and right. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.